Well, holy shit. I guess wonders never cease. Looks like the orange criminal buffoon just got bitch slapped by the Supreme Court on his tariffs. Now, this was an absolute no brainer in terms of a legal decision from the court. Trump never had a legal leg to stand on. But the problem is, as we know, this court is thoroughly corrupt. And so just because the law and the Constitution are clear here that Trump has absolutely no authority whatsoever to impose these tariffs, that wasn't a foregone conclusion that the court was going to rule the right way. So, this is at least a little bit surprising. This is an absolute humiliation for this guy. The sting of this to his fucking narcissistic, malignant, narcissistic, friggin' demented ego, the sting of this, the embarrassment of this, because he has just now been humiliated on a worldwide stage. These tariffs were his signature issue more than anything else. The tariffs have defined his second term. And in terms of the rest of the world, the tariffs are how he has gotten other countries to do what he wants. To the extent that that's worked, it's by threats of tariffs. And now all these countries who have been bullied by this piece of shit by threatening to put tariffs, he's on with the tariffs, he's off with the tariffs, put money in my pocket if you want the tariffs off, which is really the main purpose of the tariffs. The main purpose is the grift. The main purpose of the tariffs, and once the sting of the humiliation wears off, the anger's going to set in because now he has lost his main leverage he had over countries, companies, people. The main leverage he had over them to put money directly into his pocket. It was the tariffs. It was an extortion, right? That was the whole purpose of the tariffs, was extortion, to line his own pockets. It was never about protecting American manufacturing. That was all bullshit. And it's in fact had the exact opposite effect. We have been losing manufacturing jobs in this country. It's never been about manufacturing. It's never been about America first. It's never been about raising money. It's never been about the trade deficit with other countries. That's all bullshit. The real reason was to line his pockets. You don't want the tariffs? Then put money in my pocket. You don't want the tariffs? Then buy billions of dollars of my worthless crypto crap. You don't want the tariffs? Then let me build my golf courses wherever the hell I want to in your country, and you're going to give me all kinds of special breaks to help me do it. That was the main purpose of the tariffs. And now, poof, that's all gone. The real question now becomes, what does he do now? Is he just going to take this lying down? Is he going to follow the court's order here and stop collecting tariffs? Or is he going to say, screw you? You're not taking, because what did they just do? They just took money out of his pocket. They just shut down this entire grift scheme with these tariffs. Is he going to let that happen? I don't know. We'll see. Now, what he may do is he may try to reimpose these tariffs by calling it something else. He'll call it, I don't know, a fee, a surcharge, whatever. He might just reimpose these tariffs and just call it something else. These aren't tariffs. These are surcharges. These are Trump surcharges. These are Make America Great Again surcharges. They're not tariffs. We'll see. And then what? If he does that, I mean, because then he could pretend that he's complying with the court order, yet still doing what he was doing. And if he does that, what's going to happen then? I mean, the way it's supposed to work, if he were to just openly defy the court like that, then he should be impeached and removed from office. But we know that's not a realistic possibility right now. So what's going to happen? The court can't enforce its own order. Really, the only people who can stop him are members of Congress who can impeach and remove him. But that's not going to happen. So why wouldn't he either just ignore the court order and continue to collect the tariffs, or just reinstate them by calling them something else? And if he does that, then what? Well, then I guess the same groups that sued him and just won could sue him again and say he's trying to get around the court order by doing the exact same thing, just calling it something else. And guess what? Look how long it took for us to get this decision on the tariffs. It's probably going to take just as long to get a new decision on the new tariff scheme or the new America First surcharge scheme. So we'll see. And this idiot is too stupid, I'm sure, to understand politically the court just helped him out big time because the tariffs were a weight on this economy. The tariffs were bringing down this economy. Now, they're not the only thing that was bringing down this economy. So we'll see if these tariffs are actually lifted, what sort of a positive effect it has on the economy. It might actually be minimal, but it could be pretty significant, and we're going to have to wait and see. But if it is, then the Supreme Court just handed Donald Trump and Republicans a huge political victory here. And I tell you who's the most happy about this decision today? The Republican Party, because they desperately are against these tariffs. It's killing their reelection chances, but they can't do anything to oppose them because they can't dare go against the Orange God King. They can't go against the leader of their cult, or else their base would revolt. But they've been praying for the Supreme Court to strike down these tariffs. I'm telling you, Republicans in Congress, they're the happiest about this decision right now. But we'll see. We'll see what Trump does. I'm waiting for the next Truth Social post. See if he loses his mind. See if he threatens the court. See if he says, "Forget it, I'm not complying with this order." Or see if he announces some new course of action. Like I said, the America First Trump surcharge. We'll see. I don't think this is over. I don't think this is over by a long shot. And there's a lot more to say about this, and I will be discussing it more. But one more thing before I go. In terms of the court, this was not a unanimous decision. It was a 6-3 decision, and you could probably guess some of the people who voted in favor of upholding Trump's tariffs. They were predictably Sam Alito and Clarence Thomas, the two worst, most corrupt, most Trump sycophantic justices on the court. The third was Brett Kavanaugh, who is fast becoming just as bad as the other two. He was, prior to being appointed to the Supreme Court, his judicial record up until that point would not necessarily have led one to believe that he would be as bad as Thomas and Alito. But he is becoming every bit as bad as Thomas and Alito. Remember, Brett Kavanaugh is the one who has given ICE and Border Patrol basically the authority to abuse people the way they've been doing. These illegal stops, these illegal arrests, these are what have come to be called Kavanaugh stops. Because in an emergency shadow docket opinion, not on the merits, but as a temporary emergency sort of not final adjudication, Kavanaugh he basically said, you can stop people, you can detain people based on the color of their skin. That alone is sufficient reasonable suspicion to suspect that someone might be in the country illegally. The color of their skin, or the fact that they're speaking Spanish, other things like that. Kavanaugh is a truly detestable piece of shit, and he's getting worse with each passing decision from this court. So it is not surprising. Years ago, I would not have expected Justice Kavanaugh to rule this way on this tariffs case, but now I'm not surprised at all. He is truly becoming a very and it's not conservative. These positions are not conservative. They're hard right. They're fascist positions. They are positions that put all power of the federal government in the hands of the president. That's what we're talking about here. There's nothing conservative about a decision from the court that says a president can unilaterally impose tariffs, even though the Constitution and no law passed by Congress gives him any authority to do so. That's not conservatism. That's authoritarianism. That is empowering illegally one branch of the government, one person in our system. There's nothing conservative about that. So the thing that is sort of surprising, which not surprising to me, but it'll probably be surprising to MAGA, is that two of the Republican justices on the court who ruled against Trump were actually appointed by Trump. And that would be Neil Gorsuch and Amy Coney Barrett. They both were appointed by Trump and they ruled against him in this tariff case. Both of those justices have proven that they will rule against Trump on occasion, much more so than Kavanaugh, who has just thrown full in with Thomas and Alito. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll be talking about this more as we learn more about it and as we wait to see what the orange criminal fucking wannabe dictator for life is going to do or say in response to this decision. But as for now, I'm enjoying it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.